Testing. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Oh my God, we go to lunch there a lot. We used to.
Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy.
Hey,
Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. I have a special guest. He is one of the many voices of the Philadelphia Flyers, Mr. Lou Nolan. Hey Lou, welcome. Welcome to the show.
how are you, buddy?
Good, how you doing?
Doing fine. Things are good.
How's the off season doing?
All right, I hear you.
How's the off season?
Too much, too long. I
I
don't like
know.
off seasons. It's I'm not getting enough done in hockey wise. You know, I'm doing a lot of other things, but from the standpoint of hockey, zero. I keep waiting for something to happen, and it doesn't happen.
I
You
know.
understand?
So I want to ask you a few questions. What was it
Sure.
like? What was it like during the Broad Street Bully era of hockey?
Well, there was a lot of activity where I sit. That's for sure. You know that.
Yeah, I know hockey. It's
It's
selling a lot.
lot of guys learning their way and making their way. I think what happened was that the coach Fred Shiro took advantage of the rules, and a team was constructed that you know could use intimidation games. Not that we didn't have good players. We did have good players. I mean, you know, you're talking about Clark and Bill Barber and those guys. These guys are players. So, man, they were tough. But you know, the guys like Schultze were very, very important. Bob Kelly, Bird, Don Selesky. You know, I mean, important players on that team.
Yeah,
But,
that was a great season. I watched the documentary on HBO. It was a great documentary, by the way, one of the best.
yeah, well, you know, we won the cup, so
Yeah,
can't do
and
much
he
better
did it
than
twice.
that.
Did it twice
Mike-
too.
Good thing.
So, what are your thoughts? Your thoughts on goaltender Carter Hart?
I think we're just starting to see how good he's going to be. He's got his head on really straight. He's worked with a psychologist for a long time. So I think he's got the kind of ideas that when a goal gets scored, you put it behind you. You know, you don't think about it. You don't dwell on these things. And
Yeah.
he can have a good game and have some good games.
Hey,
So
Kelly.
he's going to be a real good player.
Not much. That was my sister. Just walked in.
Hello, how are you?
Me, I'm 65. I'll be
She's no good. What do you think of? Do you think the Flyers have a shot this year?
Definitely. I still remember.
Sister thinks definitely. I think that it's going to be a pretty good team. We will miss Matt Niskanen a lot,
Yeah, we
but there are
will.
a lot of young guys who can step in and play. See what happens. He needs some goals for her. So
Yeah, well, I think Gustafson, he's been on this team before, so he should know a lot.
oh yeah, well he's a good player, but replacing Niski is really
Yeah,
a
that's a
difficult
big
thing to do.
loss. That's a big loss.
Yeah, but he did what was right in his heart, you know. He just thought to
Yeah, he
himself,
did.
I had enough, and he's got enough resources now from playing off a couple of good contracts, and he wants to be with his family. So all well and good.
What are your thoughts on the playoffs last year? How did you feel about the playoffs with there being no fans and just crowd noise?
Well, yeah, I thought that it left a lot to be desired. However, we did put together a second screen off of the Flyers website. I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, but where we did all the
Not
announcements.
really. I don't really have a phone, so I don't get the app. So
Yeah, so we had all the goals, all the commercial or two thrown in, all my announcements, all that stuff, and the game was on video and we were on audio. So you know, if you wanted to listen to us, and a lot of people did, so we were pretty pleased with the way it went.
oh, that's good.
I didn't like it without people.
Yeah, it didn't feel
Didn't
right,
like it.
but I
I
think
did a bubble.
it was a close. They had a very close series with the Islanders. I thought the Flyers, they looked slow in maybe the first two games, but then they really started getting it going. The Islanders, they kind of played similar to the way the Devils played.
Yeah, slow play down, and we weren't ready. We weren't good enough to beat them this time around. We
Yeah,
just weren't, you know. But
and
we will be.
ironically, even though they had their backup in, they still lost that game. The Islanders. So the Islanders won that game. The Flyers still lost.
Yeah, we score a goal and then they come back and score again right away, you know, and you can't have that happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think all those the three overtime games that they had, I think that really took a toll on the Flyers physically.
I agree, Timmy. I agree. I think that, and I don't know because I wasn't around the team then, because they're was kind of staying in one place, and it's hard to say. Injuries, things like that, they play on you, and we just weren't able to get it done.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on how did you feel about Ed Snyder? Your thoughts on Ed Snyder?
Well, I love Ed Snyder still.
Yeah.
I loved him when he was. He's responsible for a lot of the great things that have happened to me in my life, and I miss him terribly.
Yeah. I do too. You know.
Well, you've met him a number of times. I know that, and
I actually, honestly, I never really had the opportunity to meet him, but I'm sure he would be a great guy, you know, to meet.
yeah, he was a great guy, tough businessman, but fair guy, fair
Yep.
and terrific.
Yeah. So, kind of think of questions here. So, how are you keeping yourself busy these days?
Well, I have a real job besides the hockey part of it, I sell securities to banks, credit unions, people like that, and I do that with a PC, and that's quite good. I'm not getting out and seeing my clients as much as I'd like to, but then again, it's not a great time to be out there with all the restrictions. But I'm reading about hockey as much as I can, and trying to prepare myself for the season, whatever it shows, studying some names, things like that.
Go to Shelly.
See you, Shelly. There she goes.
Yeah.
But I'm staying pretty busy, Tim. You know? Anyway.
That's good. I don't know if you heard, but did you hear that the Reading Royals canceled their season? Did you hear about that?
I did, and I feel badly for the people up there that go to these games. We've played up there a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, the alumni game.
I've been there. The people that own the team, the fans, the players that played in Reading, they'll be somewhere else. It's, the league itself, I think, is going to probably just take this year off.
Because I think the minor leagues, they don't really have the technology that the Flyers have. They don't have the resources that an NHL team would have. So it's pretty hard for them.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you're talking about the most elite level in pro sports with the NHL. Yeah, it's the most elite level in hockey. So you have all the resources, the trainers, the ability, the doctors. I mean, everybody is there and helping. And the players are the best players. So when it gets to Reading, which is, one down from the Phantoms, which have a good organization, every time you move down a notch, things change as far as resources and availability, including talented players. So, they're good guys there, but, they'll find a place.
Yeah, they will.
It's going to be a little while again.
I remember I went to a Reading Royals game. It was a playoff game, and that was my first game there. They played, I think,
Nice building.
They played the Stingrays. I think it was in 2015.
Yeah, I worked there for an alumni game. We had a good alumni team go in there, and we split it up.
Yeah.
We had enough guys to play two teams, and I broadcast that.
Yeah.
And their guy was with me, so it was good for him. I didn't want to cut him out of any opportunity like that. So he was there too, and we did it together, and we had a great time. The people were great. The building's terrific. The players were funny. We had a really good time. A lot of guys played. A lot of guys.
Yeah.
Eric played. Johnny LeClaire.
Yeah.
I think Billy Barber put on skates. So it was a good thing.
Great guys on that team.
Might have been there. I'm not sure. Oh boy.
What were your thoughts on Eric Lindros? What were your thoughts on the career of Eric Lindros?
I think Eric was like, quote unquote, the next one. They had him anointed as the next great player. And he was unique because he was really talented. He had great hands. He could score. He could pass. And good Lord, he could check.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they changed the way he played a little bit. They didn't want him in the penalty box quite so much, so they didn't have him, fight as much as he normally would.
Yeah.
And it might have changed a little bit. Taking a shot at him, those concussions might have hurt there. But boy, what a great player! And I get along really good with him. I like the guy a lot.
He's a great guy, and it was a shame that what happened to him. It was a shame what happened to him in 2000 when he got a concussion.
Yeah.
It was hit by Scott Stevens.
Everybody feels the same way, that his career could have gone a little bit different if those concussions weren't there.
Yeah. I know.
Sure.
And Then he ends up getting traded to the New York Rangers. How did you feel about that? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that Eric had sort of there had been this division between he and the general manager, and I think that the idea was they were looking for a place to move him there, and they got some pretty good players back. I don't recall who they were, but hey, life goes on. And Eric was sort of the point in his career there where he wasn't going to score 45 or 50 goals, have 100 points anymore.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't going to happen.
He moved on to Toronto and then eventually Dallas.
Yep, quickly. So it moved. Once he left Philly, it was bang, bang, bang. And he was from Toronto, so you imagine the pressure on a home kid from Toronto that with the pedigree of Lindros is tremendous. I mean, lots and lots of pressure. And he moved on. So he's a good guy. He comes in for the alumni games. Put him in the Hall of Fame. A good guy.
And I also remember Peter Forsberg. What were your thoughts on Peter Forsberg's career as a Philadelphia Flyer?
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't very long,
Yeah,
obviously, but he played well here. In fact, I can recall once Antero Niittymaki, our goalkeeper, during a face-off, with his arms up on the goalpost, the crossbar, looking up at the big screen that was showing Forsberg highlights, and a guy wanted up and the other team scored on him while he was still standing back and shot it out.
I think it was,
remember that?
Yeah, Max Talbot.
That's who it was?
Yeah.
You don't even know who it was. You're amazing. Well, this has been a lot of fun. You do this once a week, Timmy?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering if you could let, Karen Hatcher and Katie Emmerich, let them know that I do a podcast on here.
I don't really have any contact with them,
Okay.
but I know through the probably you call the Comcast Sportsnet, Philly Sportsnet, NBC offices and see what they can do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I don't know either one of them.
I'm planning on doing.
Katie, I haven't met Katie. I met her once. Karen, I know, but Katie, I haven't really met. She's busy all the time when I'm in the press room and so forth.
Yeah, so I'm like planning on doing having different guests on my podcasts from the Flyers organization.
Yeah, well,
And I just want to say, it's a real honor.
I'm flattered.
It's a real honor to have you on this podcast.
Well, the honor's mine. Thank you for asking me. And I'm glad to do it. I hope I know we had a good time, and I miss seeing you. But sooner or later, we'll be back there, and I will see you. You know that, right?
Right. All right. Everybody.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast. And Lou Nolan, thank you for being on my podcast. I really appreciate it. Let's go Flyers. And before you go, can I get a Flyers are going on the Pico power play?
Oh, well, I don't do a lot of that, but I'll tell you what I will do. You know what these are? Listen to this. The Flyers are going on the Pico power play.
There you go.
They're little buttons that are like those ones that was easy and you get at the Staples. So how about that? Does that work?
All right, thank you for having me. I'll see you, Lou. Have a great day. And this podcast, this episode will be on YouTube this Wednesday.
Great. I look forward to watching it. You take care, okay?
All right, you too. You too, sir.
Okay.